I hadn't gotten to the stage where I'm like, ugh. You know what I mean? I'm just like, oh, this is cool. Anyway, Dale, are we rolling?
We're doing this, Dale.
Okay, let's do the intro.
All right. Hey, you know, 3, 2,
7,
9. Welcome to another episode of Huff and Brown.
You guys ever, like think that a word should be a word, but it's not a word?
Like you say something, you're like, ba-boom.
No, like,
Kerplow,
or like abolitionism.
Abolitionism is actually a real thing.
Is that a thing?
Yeah, in Peru.
Okay, but like, I don't think it is. And, all right, scenario. Fucking courtroom with, the lawyer's like, Your Honor, I object. That's straight and deliberate abolitionism. And then the judge hits a gavel and he's like, psh, psh.
You've been a rabeliginated.
Yeah.
You've been a rabeliginated.
I don't know. Anyway, you want to talk about our guest today?
We got Mr. Coach Klein on the couch today.
Whew.
How's it going, buddy?
it's pretty good.
Why don't you talk about him a little bit?
Well, he's wearing an Atlanta Braves hat, so I'm guessing you're happy about baseball
That's
season.
not what that A means.
Yeah, that's what it means.
I mean, it's my name.
Oh.
I don't know what the Braves are.
Oh, okay. He's one of those.
Yeah.
Okay.
Austin,
I think it's a Braves hat. Honestly.
I'm pretty sure it's a Braves hat, and I think he likes baseball. I think
he just doesn't want to admit it.
Yeah. He's got some bead bracelets. I'm not sure if those are anal beads or wrist beads or
They're both.
Where'd you get your bracelets from, dude?
I bought them at a flea market for $360.
Are they made out of fucking
bead.
elephant tusk, dude?
Maybe.
Jesus, you're a horrible person.
All right, so tell me about yourself then.
My name is Jose.
Okay.
Okay.
I come from, I don't know where.
Okay.
No, I'm just kidding. My name is Austin. I come from Tampa, Florida, originally.
Okay.
I've known Mr. Brown here for like 80 years,
Yeah,
something like
80. We're going on like 85.
that. 85, 80 to 85, something like that.
What do you do?
What do I do? I sling golf clubs around for cash.
That's what they call male prostitutes. That's the new lingo.
code word.
They say, "Hey, I'm gonna go swing some golf clubs later and get a little cash."
There you go.
Yeah.
Outside of that, I am a podcast producer and co-host of a sports podcast. Outside of that, I guess you could call me somewhat of a musician as well.
We're gonna plug your stuff at the end of the episode. So right now,
Yeah, I know he asked you to
about-
talk about yourself, but you're talking about yourself a lot right now.
Yeah.
yeah.
It's getting.
Let's talk about you. And
Me?
no, let's talk about Spencer.
You want to
Okay.
talk about me?
Curled
let's talk
mustache.
Hit me. I
Answer.
ain't curled my mustache. We were just speaking on that.
He's
dude.
thinking about it.
I used to curl my
when we
mustache
talk
all the
about it, you
time.
can see him think about it.
Yeah, you do. I start twirling on it.
See?
I can
No,
see it in your eyes.
At one point, I thought it was a good idea, and I thought it looked cool, and it kind of did. But now that I've grown a little older, I just like the Dale Earnhardt look. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Man, you should totally do the Hogan stash.
The Hogan, just like bring it all down, like
all
this,
the way
this
down.
Shave,
I did
this
that
part
once.
Of the goatee, to shave
I
your
did that
chin.
once, and I looked like an idiot.
That's about what Dale's got going on right now. Honestly, he's just got the burns going up the side of his face too.
Yeah, Dale looks dumb. So, sports. You do a sports podcast.
Yes.
How long have you been doing that?
Also 80 years. No, I've been doing that about 2 months, 3 months.
What's the name of it?
Name of it is No Timeouts Left.
We're not going to plug until the end of the episode. So.
Oh, okay. I
We'll
forgot.
cut that out.
Okay, we can
Man,
edit later. Okay.
Fired. Again.
So, like, how do you feel about the NFL, the National Football League?
Run by an idiot, played by a bunch of whiny idiots.
Whiny little
Not all of
bitches.
them. Divas. There's some divas in there.
Not as bad as the NBA.
The NFL's up and down for me. I like it and I don't like it.
That's such like a general question. I don't know even what.
Such a general answer.
That was, dude. So what's your favorite team? Is it Tampa Bay since you're from Florida?
Of course.
Well,
It's because I'm from Tampa. You got to remember, there's 3 teams.
That's like
three
being
teams
like,
in Florida.
hey, what sport do you like?
Hey,
That's such-
so how do you like the sport ball?
We almost named our
But you're
our
not a
podcast
fan.
All right,
that.
you know what? I'm going to do this. I think it's time for a this or that segment, which we
Okay.
love so much here at Huff and Brown. I'm going to hit you with a lightning round here, Austin. I'm going to give you different sports or different, what do you call them? You know, like, what do you call that? Like the NFL, the NBA, MLB. What is that like? It's
Sports organization.
Yeah, different sports organizations.
Big Four.
And you're going to tell me which one you like better. So we're going to start off, and I'm going to hit you with MLB or NBA.
Oh,
Good one.
that's easy. MLB by far.
All right.
Me too. I'm on the same page with you on that one.
All right.
yeah.
We're going
Hell
to go pro soccer. So I guess MLS or the pro tennis circuit.
I'm going tennis on that one.
I'm going with tennis.
Tennis. All right.
Have you seen-
Can I tell you why?
Yeah, tell me
Can I
why.
tell you why? Tennis, they can actually be fierce competitors, and you see a little drama in that sense. But in soccer, if you touch the guy, he's on the ground for 30 minutes screaming at the top of his lungs as if you had taken a chainsaw and shoved it up his ass.
They really do. You like look at him wrong, and he's like, "Oh, I sprained my ankle," just trying to get a red card pulled the fuck out of here.
Also with tennis, like, you ever watch like a female tennis match? They go,
Oh, Venus and Serena, some Anna Kournikova.
no, the noise they make when they hit the ball, they're like,
Yeah,
You know what I mean?
they you can tell they're letting it out.
it's like I'm coming.
They make the sound. They make the same noise when they hit the racket that the Major League Soccer players do whenever somebody like winks
Touches
at them.
them.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. They go, the ball.
Oh my god.
All right, so I'm gonna hit you with one more.
All right.
Let's see. Okay, professional bowling or professional polo?
Bowling.
Oh, bowling.
Bowling,
Dude, why would you think anything other than bowling? Think about that. What is my favorite quote from?
That's number 5. Are you kidding me? That's right. Who do you think you are? I am.
Pete Weber, greatest thing I've ever seen on YouTube.
Yeah, I'm with that.
You know what's cool about bowling is like they're not athletic at all. You know what I mean? Like I have a bowling ball. I have like a little bit of a pudge here. You know what I mean? But I could still be a professional bowler.
Balding, maybe a little alcohol problem.
You could play baseball
maybe.
too.
Yeah, you could maybe.
That's
play.
what I love about baseball. And people, shit on baseball all the time for that fact. Like, look at Pablo Sandoval. He's fat as hell. He's faster than you.
Yeah.
Guarantee it.
He's only
He
gotta
can
run
make it
90
around all
feet.
3 bases before you even get to the second one.
Dude, he was like the Grand Slam master too. He had a
Yeah.
Grand Slam like I forget. I think it
Doesn't
was like in
take
the
much
playoffs.
effort to hit a home run. Okay, you hit a ball coming at you 96 miles an hour.
Yeah.
Come on
He
now.
would just fucking.
I'm surprised you
rock.
didn't ask me NHL versus NFL.
Well, that's an easy one. NHL.
NHL
That's
versus-
like
It
a
is.
no-brainer.
It is.
I didn't want to. I didn't want
A
to
lot
throw
of people
NHL
around here would say NFL.
I just didn't want to throw NHL in there because to me it's just such a no-brainer. It's the only sport to me, and growing up, it's one of the only sports I never was into as a kid and got into as an adult because you watch every other. It's like soccer and shit. They're all pussies, dude. They're like hockey. They fucking slug it out. They fucking check each other. Fucking get teeth knocked out.
They
if
get
they get
chopped in
mad,
the
they
jugular and come
fucking
back the
fight.
next game.
They fucking fight,
But they-
and the refs let them do it.
They
And then-
talk about it before too. They're like, "All right, good luck in this fight that we're about to have." Like,
Yeah, and then he's
what the
like,
fuck
I'm gonna knock your shit loose. And he's like, well, guess what? I'm gonna fucking uppercut you in the fucking nads, dude. And
They also just bullshit with each other before fights. Like,
Yeah.
hey, this game's kind of boring. Do you want to do this? Like, no
Yeah.
shit. Like,
Yeah.
there are if you look up on YouTube, there are some funny ass conversations between hockey players right before
the
fights.
mic'd up stuff,
Or even during fights, like some of them are like jabbing each other. They're like, "What are you getting for dinner?" Like, come on, man,
dude, that's like
Loser
that's
by
so
first
that-
round.
That's so fucking funny to me. Like they talk about fighting each other afterwards. Like that's two sides of the spectrum, like just meeting together. You know what I
kind of
mean?
like pro wrestling. they actually hit each other.
But they actually hit. It's smart though for the because that keeps the fans entertained too. There's plenty of people that watch it because of that. They're like, "Oh yeah, it fights." It keeps everything interesting for
the MLB
everyone.
too. Like if there's like a full dugout brawl, like
those are awesome.
Yeah, those are fucking. I mean, I'm from Cincinnati, so like we had one with St. Louis because Cincinnati fucking fans hate St. Louis, and
as they should.
We had one where
I'm not really sure why.
Yeah, we would just hate each other. And there was one where Johnny Cueto, who is a pitcher, he plays for the Yankees, I think, or I don't know who he plays for, but
pretty sure
he was like up against the like rail or whatever and kicking some dude and like that guy's career was over.
Yeah, because they're wearing cleats. Yeah. That's not really cool.
Yeah, it's kind of fucked up.
Yeah, in hockey fights, when somebody hits the ground, they're not getting on them and trying to like slit their throat with their skate. You know what I mean? It's a gentleman fight.
It's accepted though, which is the funniest part about it. Is like
not every time.
Well, yeah, not
you got
every
people
time.
like Todd Bertuzzi trying to kill people out there.
Yeah, but if you throw a fastball behind your head and you run at the mound, they're like, all right, that was a dick move.
Yeah, because you kill him.
They got those little guards.
Seen it.
Yeah.
That's terrible. Yo, okay, here's one for you. This or that for greatest cheaters in baseball. Are you going to go for, well, maybe not greatest cheaters. Who do you go over, Mark McGwire or Sammy Sosa, dude?
At the time of the battle, Sammy Sosa. In the long run, Mark McGwire.
Why?
Sammy ran into more trouble towards the end of his career. Mark McGwire has kind of somewhat redeemed himself through coaching. So,
what do you think about the cork bat with Sammy Sosa?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was getting at.
Yeah.
Was that kind of did it for me. I was like, oh.
Well, what do you think? Because when they wwent back and looked at that stuff, he had a bunch of cork bats that he used for practice. And the majority of them, it's just like if he had it out there then, it's just the fact if they weren't. I saw them. I saw both of them the year they were in the race. Yeah. I went and saw a couple Braves games, and I saw Sammy Sosa crank one out into the fucking parking lot.
That's gross.
So you're like, okay, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's gross. Fuck. I'm gonna go with Mark McGwire too, because even though maybe he was or wasn't, if that cork bat was out there that time, it was out there at other points in the season too. Definitely.
Is this? I'm gonna say something that might be wrong, but like I kind of feel bad for Sammy Sosa because he has that like fucking what's that skin condition?
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Where his he starts getting discoloration.
Yeah, he has like the Michael Jackson thing.
Is it?
I can't remember the name of it.
Turns white a little bit.
Yeah,
he has like patches of white on his face. Yeah, I mean, I have like red shit on my face, so I feel okay about talking about this.
Yeah, you just during high school, you just kept like drinking too much port wine, dude, and it just kind of.
No, not the case. Nope, came out the womb looking like this, brother.
Oh, really? Oh, so
and it gets more purple as the years go by. So thank you for that.
Oh, that's cool, man. Hey, you ever hear that song, "The Purple People Eater"?
Jesus.
Hey, Seth, do you eat people? Have you ever thought about eating a toe?
No, but I hear it's all right.
Dude, speaking of that, have you watched the Santa Clarita diet?
It's called vitiligo.
There you go.
Vitiligo. Vitiligo, the loss of skin pigment.
What is it? Just like a genetic thing?
I think so.
Probably.
Gotta be. That's wild, dude.
I wouldn't think it's something you could just pick
There's a model.
Like I caught some
I got
some Latigo down at Publix the other day, and I think I'm feeling a little under the weather.
That just sounds like you scored some drugs in the parking lot.
Man, I have to ask my Jankum guy about that.
All right, Dale, let's get some current events going.
Yeah, you got anything new going on with you, Dale? We never really ask how you're doing because we don't care.
That's true.
But I'm kind of feeling like nice today in a way. You got anything going on with you, Dale?
Oh man, not particularly. I guess I'm not a super interesting guy. I got to get a new car soon.
Okay,
that's pretty cool.
What kind of car you think you're gonna get?
Man, I don't know. I really want like a small sized pickup truck.
Cool, Dale. Can you look up some current events or something?
Well, I'm trying to talk to you right now.
I don't care
have
about
time to Google stuff.
Anything about what you're talking about.
All right, Dale. Any current events?
Nope.
All right.
There's nothing current.
Why, Dale? You're a breath of fresh air in this place. I tell you what.
I'm sorry, Dale. I didn't mean to
You really
do
are
that.
harsh on him, man. Should
It's
really
my
be
bad.
nicer to him. He does a lot for us.
I actually think you're a really cool guy, but I make fun of you on this podcast because I think it's funny. I think when people think back, they're going to be like, oh, I listened to that podcast, and it was hilarious when Seth was making fun of Dale the entire time. You know what I mean?
That was probably like their favorite part.
Yeah.
It's mine.
Yeah, they'd be like, they'd reminisce about that. You know what I mean, Dale?
Yeah,
Okay, you're meant to be.
I know
Yeah,
exactly
dude.
what you mean.
Yeah, dude.
Sorry, man. I'm a little bit distracted trying to find some current events for you.
Oh.
You're looking
bet.
at porn.
Yeah,
Let's
quit
be
looking at
honest.
titties. Yo, Klein, so walk me through with your podcast. It's a sports podcast. What do you guys like? What's your thing? How do you go about it? Do you just find what's happened that week in sports? You try to find the big stories and just hit on those, or what's your platform?
Depending on when we record, we just try to keep it relevant. Like if something happened 5 days ago and it's already been talked to death by ESPN and Fox News, blah, 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 we're not going to cover it because it's already been done. So we try to stick to hot topics that are current to that moment as much as we can. And I don't know, we just try to have a little bit of fun with it.
How do you feel about how like overcomplicated like ESPN or Fox Sports or whatever gets with shit? Like
Fox Sports I can handle. ESPN I've grown really tired of, and I guess it's kind of somewhat of the motivation behind all that. I'm just tired of their shit, to be honest.
I feel like because the other day I was like watching, I don't know where it was at, but like they were like, oh, this one player changed his tattoo. You know what I mean? And I'm like, who gives a fuck?
Well, the reason why, and I'll explain, is because Lonzo Ball's dumbass dad, LeVar Ball, has a brand called Big Baller Brand. Mm-hmm. And he had the Triple B logo tattooed right there within a tattoo. And their dumbasses went into business with a friend, and said friend fucked them financially, was basically embezzling a bunch of money and just totally screwed them over. And now that company is probably about to fold after LeVar Ball's dumb ass should have run it into the ground with all the stupid shit he said a while back. So there's that.
Yeah.
So it's not that big of a story. It shouldn't be that big of a story. But why I found it interesting and why I found it so hilarious is because if you look at that tattoo in detail, they covered up the triple. It's just 3 red B's.
Yeah, I saw the pictures
B's.
of it.
They covered it up by turning it into 2 dice.
Yeah.
But one of them is so bad, it's a 7-sided die. Like, it's terrible. It's such a terrible cover up.
He really did lose all his money.
It got fried on Twitter. It was hilarious. I enjoyed every second of that. I kind of like Lonzo Ball. He's all right, but his dad sucks. So I find it pretty funny.
Well, I mean, that's a funny story, like the whole tattoo thing. But like, I'm just saying, the fact that they over embellish shit. You know what I mean? Like
they've turned it into like news for sports.
Right. Well,
Exactly.
see that, and that's kind of what I'm getting at. Like by telling that story, is we kind of cover stuff in that way.
Okay.
We don't sit here and just read off a bunch of stats and like try to sound hip or yell at the top of my lungs like Stephen A. Smith all the time. Why is he on 16 of their shows? By the way, that's another thing. Is it's just overrun, just
the same people
shit
doing
over and over.
different. It's the
It
same
is.
but
It's
different.
news for
But
sports.
then they run off great people like Dan Patrick and guys like him. Now they got Scott Van Pelt back, which is great. That's about the only thing I'll watch on there consistently. Outside of that,
Did he go to HBO for a second and then
Scott Van Pelt,
No, it was another guy. I forget his name. Never mind.
that might have been Dan Patrick. Dan Patrick left.
Well, I mean, Dan Patrick has his daily show, and I watch that shit all the time. I
love Dan Patrick's show.
to get the other guys, kind of like what we're doing right now.
Yeah.
honestly,
Just fucking shooting the
McLovin
shit.
back
successful podcast.
McLovin back here on the seat, the hot seat back there on the wicker basket. Man, I like those. Like the HBO sports shows are always more interesting to me because they have I like it because it's like they do stories. Like they go out and like talk to these people, and you get like a good background of this whole story. And it's HBO, so they do a good job.
But that's where ESPN still does it right. Is 30 for 30.
Yeah,
one of the best things
I
you'll
love that
see
shit.
on TV. Period. I've never seen a 30 for 30 and go, oh, I'll never watch that again. I've gone back and watched every single one that I've watched at least twice.
They had the one on Ric Flair, which was fucking awesome.
I can talk all day about that.
We talked about wrestling with Josh too much.
We had a whole wrestling podcast.
I'll let you breathe on that because I can go forever. But
Yeah,
WrestleMania is this weekend, by the way.
And that's another cool thing you guys are doing. You and a couple other dudes we know are doing a radio show at Acme Feed and Seed downtown every. What's that now?
We've only done one episode, but I believe it is to become a monthly gig. That's what we're hoping for. That we get on there and we play a bunch of local music and we talk wrestling. And then we also focus on local wrestling within the region, not just Nashville.
Southern and Underground Pro.
Yeah, we talk about that too, but we talk about Southern Honor Wrestling, which is usually down in Georgia, I believe, in Chattanooga area. A good friend of mine that I'm about to do another wrestling podcast with that I used to be on a wrestling podcast with. As complicated as it sounds, he's a referee in that company, and also does referee in other independent promotions. So we talk about that a good bit.
Dude, that'd be fun.
Yeah,
I'd referee.
Dude, they're really cool, man.
What a
Have you ever
great
gone to
job.
the independent like wrestling promotions? Whatever, they're insane, bro. They're cool as hell.
Yeah.
It'd just be fun to be like a referee in a wrestling match. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because you can get choke slammed at any moment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I guess, dude. That's what
mean,
I
you
would
could,
do.
yeah.
I would be a referee. Actually, now you think
You'd be a big-ass
say that.
referee.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I think everybody would kind of look at you funny because they'd be like, "Why aren't
you wrestling?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Is this like a celebrity ref or something?
yeah, but what about like, that's like the coolest thing to say ever if you're at a bar. You know what I mean? Walk up to a girl that you think is attractive and you're like, yeah, I'm a referee for wrestling.
You'd be
Whatever.
like, well, are you talking like mat wrestling or ring wrestling? Because there's a big difference.
I don't know the difference between those two.
Mat wrestling, that's like Olympic wrestling.
Yeah, that's like
you're on a mat.
real wrestling.
You know, you're wearing the
Oh, no,
like Kurt Angle.
Ring wrestling, yeah,
Yeah,
for
ring
sure.
wrestling. And mat wrestling could also
Professional
be
wrestling.
like sumo wrestling in a sense.
Yeah, mat wrestling is not, and we said this before. We've said this before. Mat wrestling is not as cool as fucking ring wrestling.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, one of my roommates would debate with you for about 3 days on that.
Really?
He was literally watching March Madness and the NCAA wrestling tournament at the same time.
I mean,
Whatever floats your boat, man, but that's just not very entertaining to me. I'd rather watch the WNBA.
there's
No, hell no.
I'd
No
rather
chance.
go to a
I'd
WNBA
rather-
game
no.
because they give you free Coke and hot dogs.
No,
No, I'm talking like nose Coke, like Coca-Cola.
free cocaine.
Have
No,
you been to
Coca-Cola.
one? Is that why you know that?
No, I just see it.
I think you had-
advertised. I see Groupons
hurt
for that
you?
shit. I see Groupons for that shit all the time, dude.
I bet Spencer goes to WNBA games. when
All
he
right,
can.
maybe
Dude,
I
I
do.
bet
I,
you
got
would,
season
honestly.
tickets. I would. They give you free soda and hot dogs.
That'd
dude.
be like a thing though that you did and didn't tell us about. You know what I mean?
yeah, and I like got my gear back in the closet.
But you're
You've
like
never seen
way
me wear.
into it.
Yeah, I'm part of the. I don't know.
Like you're like, hey guys, I can't hang out tonight. I gotta work a double. But really, you're going to a WNBA.
Yeah, I'm
Wearing
going to
a
the
Candace
Memphis
Parker
Mammies.
jersey.
I'm going to the
Yeah.
Memphis Mammies game. They're playing the
And you wa-
Tuscaloosa.
and you walk into the
Tatas.
you walk into the place and you're like looking around, making
don't
sure
think
that
that's
no
a
one's
thing.
around. You know what I mean? That would be like, hey Spencer, why are you at this fucking women's basketball game?
Well, no one. I don't know what you just said because I wasn't really paying attention.
I said that you walk into the venue and you're like,
yeah.
make sure no one's here that knows me because you love going to women's basketball.
Yeah, I don't worry about anybody seeing me there because I'm usually like the only person there. Not many people attend.
That's
It'd
offensive.
also be kind of hard to hide.
Yeah, and I kind of go crazy when I go to them. I get into it because those girls play. And whenever you see a woman slam dunk a basketball, all the blood rushes to my dick, dude. I swear.
That doesn't happen.
Yeah, plus
It does. Have you? You don't know because you've never gone or tried to fucking watch it on like a free stream on like hgwy.co.
like 4 times ever.
Yeah, well, it's happened, dude.
I think
And
there's been
it's
4
good.
dunks ever.
That's it.
That's a funny thing though, because you would be recognized in a crowd all
Yeah.
the time.
You're taller than like
I would-
70% of the population.
I would never be.
Yeah.
I'd never be like, oh, that guy looks like Spencer. No, I'd be like, that's Spencer.
Yeah, you're right. Unless you saw like Taylor Lewan, and then you'd be like, "Is that Spencer?" And you'd be like, "Oh no, that's that Titans football player." I've had numerous people come up to me and be like, "Taylor Lewan." I'm like, "Do I fucking
No.
look like Taylor Lewan?" They're like, "Kind of, but maybe a little smaller."
Who is that? I don't even know who you're talking.
He's like
about.
a lineman for the Titans.
Yeah.
He's
He's a crazy person.
this is what it is. People are just fucking stupid because he's a big dude with long hair and a mustache. And they're like, "Oh, you got long hair and a mustache. You
mean-
must be that guy." That's
I mean-
me.
He does look a
That's
little
like
bit
me
like
being
you.
like,
to be real, you kind of look like
yeah, all right,
A
let's be real.
little
But
bit,
it's kind of
man.
like me being like, "Hey, Seth, Klein, you both are bald and you both have beards." I
Wow,
mean, you don't
okay.
really right now, Klein, but I'd be like, "Oh, it looks like Seth."
It's just not like a full beard.
Yeah, exactly. You've got a
You're
beard.
just trying to be mean right now because I was mean.
I'm just pointing it out.
Because I was mean.
Yeah.
No, dude, this is you.
Did you look up Taylor Lewan, Dale?
Yeah, I'm looking at him right now.
Yeah.
I'm looking at you right now. Sorry.
Yeah, oh yeah, that's me right there. I wish, dude. I
Hell
wish.
yeah, man, you'd be making bank. He gets paid, dude.
He gets paid, and he's a good guy, man. He's a good guy.
Yeah,
he's
you
not
know him
he's not one
personally?
of the thugs. You know what I mean?
Friends.
He's
As
done some
friends.
questionable shit in his day.
Yeah, but I don't know. I've just seen a lot of videos of him like going up and giving like footballs
Oh,
to
well, yeah.
kids, and
No,
like he
yeah,
seems
there's
like
no
a good
denying
dude.
that.
You
He
know
does
what I mean?
do a lot of that.
Okay.
Everybody's done
Okay.
bad stuff, I'm sure.
So, that whole story about Conor McGregor, did you hear about that?
Isn't he retiring?
No, he like went and like someone fucked up his friends or something like that. He like flew to wherever, I don't know. Dale, please look it up.
Ireland, somewhere in Ireland.
Yeah, and just beat the shit out of all these dudes.
Starched him.
Yeah, and I'm curious as to how you feel about that because I would do the same thing.
I
You know what
didn't
mean?
see that. I saw he retired, and then the next day I saw a story come out about him being involved in a investigation.
I don't know the
Ireland
whole
for,
story honestly, but like I heard the outline of the story.
Well, but that's what I was saying. Is like I never heard that. I heard that it was like a sexual assault case.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So
shit.
But then my co-host was telling me that that's been going on since December. So there's probably nothing really to that we know.
He's probably got a couple of.
Honestly, I kind of got just bored with that story.
Yeah, I'm not gonna sit here and hate on Conor McGregor because he was a good fighter and did his thing and he put himself out there.
I can only listen to things about him for 5 minutes.
Yeah, he kind of
It's just
seems
kinda
like
okay.
not somebody I'd want to be around a lot. He kind of seems like he's got a temper. Kind of seems like he might try to kiss
drink
your
a beer
girl.
with him,
He
though.
might try. I would
would
drink
have a beer
a
with
beer,
him.
but I wouldn't want to get drunk with him because he
No,
seems like
no.
he would get drunk and be the guy start like grabbing you and like kind of shaking. But he's a little dude. But you're like, God, you could fuck me up.
That would be a funny ass image seeing him do that to you.
Yeah, and I would be nervous. I'm gonna be real. I'm 6'7", damn 300 pounds. If Conor McGregor was drunk and he was just like gripping on your shoulder, how drunk you just come up behind you and just like, hey buddy, and kind of shaking.
Yeah, I'd be like,
I'd be like, okay, all right, Jesus Christ, Lucky Charms, get the fuck off of me.
I don't know if I'd say that to
No, I wouldn't. Then he would disembowel me. But
here's the point I was trying to go to with that story is that okay, so I'm going to be nice right now to you, Spencer and Dale, and you, because I don't know you that well, but like if someone was like, hey, they called me and they were like, hey, this dude fucked up your friends, like he like fucking beat the shit out of them. That's why Conor McGregor flew to wherever. You know what I mean? So would you do that? If someone called you and they were like, hey, Dale and Spencer are fucked up. You know what I mean? Because they got their asses beaten. Would you fly to there? You know what I mean?
Well, if me and Dale got our asses beaten, I wouldn't wish it upon you to come try to like
But would
take
you do it?
revenge. If you and Dale got beat up bad,
Would you
I
buy a
come?
plane ticket like that second?
Maybe if I was Conor McGregor and just had, millions of dollars, but I would be, first off, I'd be like, well, Seth, why did you go get your ass beat in Ireland? If you got your ass beat in West Nashville, maybe I could show up. If you're in Ireland, I don't think I'm grabbing a red eye to fucking fly over to Ireland, dude.
Oh, it was in 5 points?
Mad
All right,
respect
I'll be
to
there.
Conor McGregor. If I had the money,
I'll
I would
take an
do
Uber
it, dude.
over there.
Yeah,
I'll Uber over there.
Yeah, I'll Uber Air over to you in Ireland, dude.
Hey, I bet that's coming. You think that's a possibility?
I'll Uber Air you.
There's a certain
Uber
distance that
Airlines.
you wouldn't do it. Like 15 miles now.
Yeah,
Sorry, man.
Yeah, your car breaks down and you're on the side of 40.
What about you? Would you do it for your buddies?
I had the money. Yeah.
If you had like $15 in your wallet, you'd be like, nah.
Yeah, because how are
I'd
you going to
call and be like,
fucking
hey, man,
plane
I'll
ticket?
walk there, but it might be a while.
Yeah, I'll try to forge a boat and, see if it makes
See if
it
I
over.
can, hitch a few rides.
I got a
along the
friend
way.
who's a nurse. I can probably hit her up, maybe. What about you, Dale?
What was the question?
Okay. Dale's watching fucking porn.
Yeah, you really you keep giving my computer viruses. Every fucking podcast we do, I go back there the next day and it's giving me like 3 new virus alerts, man. And it's like, stop going to, granniesonly.com or like earnyourredwings.org, you know what I mean? It's not what you think it is, Dale, so stop clicking on it.
All right, now that you've, opened that door, Dale, what is your favorite kind of porn?
My favorite kind of porn?
Yeah. We can cut this out, but let's just talk about
Yeah,
it.
let's talk about it. I'm kind of curious.
Yeah, me too.
Man, that's a
Man? You say man? Ooh, dude, so you heard it here. Dale likes man brand porn. Does
heard it here
that
first.
stand for something like Mothers Against Nature, or is that just like man? Like
No, just man, dude.
oh, this is like man.
Nah.
Is that your final answer,
All
Dale?
right, Dale.
Yep. That's my final answer, dude. Man porn.
Man, okay.
You know we're gonna put this out, right?
Now that's a good sample, if nothing else. Klein, if you're gonna beat your meat, what kind of porn would you watch, dude?
Orthodox Jews.
Orthodox Jews.
What does that entail?
Orthodox
I've
Jewish
never
porn.
I've never seen
They
that.
never even take their clothes off, man.
It's kosher.
It's kosher, head to toe.
It's just
dressed
like a
up.
guy and a girl making out. That's
No,
it.
they just lay there and they talk about it. It's real as real gets.
That's hot.
That is
real
pretty hot.
and raw.
All right, Spencer.
I really like
ahead.
this. It's really one video I go back to like over and over again. It kind of I'm kind of embarrassed that I don't really branch out. I like this is
Go ahead and
video.
shoot.
This is a video, man, and there's like this girl in an apartment, and there's like this chocolate birthday cake sitting on the counter.
Oh
and,
yeah, dude.
and she
Cake
like gets
farts.
she gets
Cake
up on
sitting,
the
dude.
she gets on the counter and then she sits on it and then farts on it and then she spreads her butt cheeks and you can see her butthole and she farts and you can see the icing kind of go off. And I've just learned that when you get older it gets a little harder, to climax. So I've got to see the icing kind of go off. That you see the butthole open up, so you see the pink surrounded by all the brown. So you see the little eye open up, and you see, and the little icing just kind of shotguns out. What about you, Seth?
Well, hold on. I have so many questions right now.
Shoot.
Do you really like that?
Do I really like that
Be
chocolate
honest.
cake?
Be honest with me. Do you actually like that?
Do you really think Dale likes man porn or
Yeah.
Austin likes Orthodox Jew porn?
Yeah. 2 out of
I
2.
was raised
Exactly. We'll
Jewish.
make it 3 out of 3, motherfucker, because that shit gets me rock hard.
Okay. I don't believe you.
What about
But
you?
I want to believe you. so
What
bad.
about you, Seth? What kind of shit gets your rocks off?
I'm going to be honest. You all 3 lied, and I'm going to be honest.
I did not fucking lie, dude. I love
you
cake
did.
farts.
You lied. You lied. You lied.
You never say again that I don't like cake farts. I fucking love cake farts.
All right, now we know.
I'm just going to say what I jack off to. Okay.
Okay.
You guys weirded out about that? Or
Not
okay?
at all, dude.
Amateur. lesbian porn.
So, like, you talking about, like, iPhone videos?
Talking about, like,
As real as real gets.
sophomore year at college, and you're experimenting, and you film it. That's what I'm into.
I mean, that's what I was into when I started out. But, I mean, shit gets, I've matured
Start
since
doing what?
Masturbating, dude, looking at porn, dude. That's where you start with the real stuff. And then
When did you start
then
out?
when
Was
reality becomes boring, you have to stretch out, dude. You know what I'm saying?
But, like, when did you start jacking off?
When did I start jacking off? I guess whenever I realized I had a penis, dude.
So, 2?
It might have been like 6 or 7 for me. I was a slow learner.
All right. Okay, back to sports. What's your favorite sport,
you
Austin?
play a little hardball now. See? You want to throw a curve in there. Okay, bet, dude.
Anyway, Austin's favorite sport.
Definitely curling.
Curling? Like, just shut the fuck up, dude.
Dude,
No.
I
Did you
watched
play any sports when you were younger?
Yeah, I played baseball. I played a lot of basketball. Never played football organized, but I definitely played it backyard style.
Which that's more fun than organized football practice sucks, dude. Let's be real, dude. 2
You
days.
can say it's fun,
sucks.
but man,
Well,
some of that
because the
shit
coach is
hurt.
always like,
Yeah,
some of that
the
shit.
coach is
hurt.
like trying to make up for like regrets in his life. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Well, that was the only time I've ever been like leveled, like knocked on my back, like leveled, dude. There's a dude we called him Baby Eater. His name was Zach Douglas, and he's bigger than me and like a lot wider. And it was terrible, dude.
That's a real football name, Zach Douglas.
Baby Eater, this motherfucker, and they were doing the drill where
Let's say
one
that on his
motherfucker has
jersey.
the ball, you're standing across from him, and you're like, all right, run past him. The other dude's gonna try to tackle you, and I'm like, okay, like first week of any football practice ever, I'm like in like 8th grade, and I'm like, okay, I'm gonna try to run by this big son of a bitch, and he just fucking boom. It's like I ran into a fucking freight train.
I
dude.
mean, you had to be a
And I
lineman, right?
Yeah, I was a lineman. Dude, that motherfucker, I'll never forget that, dude. I think I'm gonna need a minute. I'm
You sure as hell
I think I
weren't
got some
a
You heard it
safety.
PTSD
here
right
fir-
now.
You heard it here first, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Taylor Lewan got knocked on his ass
by Baby Eater,
by
dude.
Baby Eater.
Dude, I got indigestion right now.
Damn, dude. That mist in the morning, dude.
I'm good. All right, so
Favorite sport? Definitely hockey.
hockey.
Used to be football, but it has since changed to hockey over the last couple of years. So,
What made you make the switch over to hockey? What I said earlier about it not being a pansified sport?
not even so much the sport, just the attitude of the players in general.
It's like sportsmanship to a T. You know what I mean? They're like, yo, we're playing a game right now,
Yeah.
and we can fucking, like we said earlier, like, fuck each other up, but like it's still a sport. It's still a game. So,
Hockey's the most team-oriented sport I've ever seen.
yeah.
And even though the teams, there's rivalries and people do like legitimately not like each other, but I feel people bounce around a lot. There's some kind of like brotherhood and connectedness of just being in the NHL. Like, yeah, some people aren't going to get along, but people move around. I feel like everybody, for the most part, gets along. Even on other teams, you see a lot of interaction of people being like, hey, what's up, man? Because they've either played together in the past or
There's like a
they're just
bottom
cool.
line
They-
of sportsmanship.
There's an understanding of like, we play this tough game. We're going to go out, tempers are going to go up. There's going to be fights and stuff, but it's not like basketball where they're like acting like some thugs and they're like, no, man, I'm gonna beat your ass. I'm gonna beat your ass. And then they're like acting like idiots.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's kind of was what I was going to get to there was with NHL is an overall sense of selflessness amongst the players.
Yeah.
They care more about the outcome of the team than they do their own.
Yeah.
Now, of course, you have an exception here and there. There are players that care more about themselves. But you see way more of that in the NBA.
There's
and the NFL.
less of an abundance of
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
And I would say baseball comes close second to that.
Yeah, I agree.
In that sense. I wouldn't say that baseball is... my second favorite sport is baseball and football. If we're going to go in the ESPN definition of sports, then I guess WWE is somewhere in there too. Or, sorry, wrestling.
That brings me to the other point I want to ask you about was the pass interference thing.
Yes, so we just talked about that. You talking about the The rule change?
Yeah.
So, yeah, we just talked about that on our most recent episode on my podcast.
What is the change? I have no
It's
idea
now
what it is.
reviewable.
It is reviewable now? Oh, okay. Well, that's good. It should have
It's
been a while
good
ago.
and it's bad. I mean, where are you going to draw the line to the point where either you're going to have no human refs or you're slowing the game down to the point of losing viewership because you're just constantly stopping to review every single fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like, you can't do that, and that's a problem that baseball is kind of running into as well with their reviews. So,
Well, they wanted to switch to no behind the plate umpires.
I know that would completely
That would
change
make
the
me,
game.
yeah, but that's terrible, dude.
Yeah,
game
sometimes
like 10
I
hours
watch
instead of
games and
5
I'm like,
hours.
I'd be okay with that because certain umps suck.
Oh, yeah.
But
There were some bad calls that
that's
happened.
part of baseball.
That's part of baseball. That's
And
like,
if you take that away, then you're just dehumanizing the sport.
and I don't want to sound like an old head and be like, "Well, never back in my like." Dude, no, that's a big change to me.
well,
That's
we've
like,
already dehumanized music, so why do it to sports? Are we just going to do it and shit movies for that matter?
that's
We've
where
done
we're
Wow,
going,
that's-
dude.
movies. You
Holy
don't
shit, Austin. That was like a fucking true thing you just said.
I
right
mean,
there.
I think about this shit all the time. This goes back to sci-fi lit in college. I love that class. I wish I could take that class.
You're
over
right,
again.
though.
Yeah, it
You know,
is.
like, I think the NFL is going to that area, though, which kind of concerns me. You know what I mean? Because you have to have a human, I don't know, judging. You can't just have it all be.
Yeah, I think it's great. It's good to advance, like in the sense that they have like slow mo cameras and really high quality shit, so they can see in the pile up to see if the ball has come out or
Yeah.
if the knee's
They
down.
definitely need a microchip in the ball. I will say that they need to do that, and that would solve. You wouldn't have to review a lot of these plays, like in sense of location of the ball when the player's knee went down, all that stuff. If you have a microchip in the ball, you'll be able to tell when it crossed the pylon, and it will tell you the moment.
That's true.
You know, if the knee goes down before that happens, and then it's triggered, then you're able to tell that through replay, and it's like that. Now, of course, you can say that, but to actually come up with that technology is probably fairly difficult as well. So I guess you could say it this way: don't dehumanize the human aspect of the game, but improve the parts that aren't human.
Well, we were
You
talking.
could- no, go ahead.
I mean, we were talking about like fucking tennis earlier.
Oh yeah, they have great technology.
No, yeah, but if you don't hit the ball over the net in the middle of the court, what is a game? You know what I mean? What is that game?
Speak English, Doc.
Oh, so you're saying if you took the net away?
That's no, I'm just saying like if you don't have that definitive line where you hit the ball over the
Okay.
net,
Yeah.
then what is the sport? What is a game? You know what I mean?
You're just playing pass with some rackets.
Yeah, you're just fucking throwing the ball around.
So, Austin, what does this year hold for you, man? What are your aspirations for 2019 moving forward with your music and podcast and life in general?
Just improve it all. I mean, for a simple answer, for full answer, I definitely want to travel more. Intend on doing that. Intend on furthering my music projects for sure. I've got a couple going on, and I'm trying to accomplish at least 3 podcasts consistently by the end of the year.
What where's your first destination that you want to travel to?
I would love to go to Canada. That won't be this year, though. I mean,
Dude,
I'm not going
Vancouver.
to say for sure that it won't be, but you never know.
I recommend Montreal. Montreal is nice.
I've heard Montreal. I definitely want to go up on the West Coast. I think some of my family, when they came over here from, was it the Russian part of my family? I think some of them went up into Canada. So, I mean, even seeking that out,
Might go connect with some lost relatives.
you never know.
I had someone I met from Spain the other day, and they were like, "Spain's the shit. Go to Spain." Just saying.
My cousin actually just went there, or well, she went to Europe in general, but they spent a good amount of time in Spain. Seemed pretty cool from what she showed me. So minus the crime, there's a lot of pickpocketing, but
You're gonna get that.
Yeah.
anywhere.
yeah, I'm not too worried about that. Another place I'd like to travel might go up into North Carolina this year, do some camping, fishing out there.
Asheville. It's cool.
Been to Asheville. I'm talking about probably further up north. I got a friend up there, and I might just do a little road trip out there. And
I dated a girl from fucking what's that university called? Clemson. You know Clemson?
Yeah.
oh yeah,
I went down there and visited her one time, and they were like the frat guys down there. They were like the fucking frat guys, dude. They were like,
They were the what? The T.
They were
frat
the
guy?
golden
What do you say?
tee. They were the fucking the
Like the Chris Polo wearing, like they
Oh, yeah.
spike the haterade, like Roofy the cheerleader, fucking piece of shit
they were
frat
like,
boys.
what's up, bro? You know what I
Gotcha.
mean?
Alpha
Yeah.
Kappa Data Beta wanna sauna Rita.
They were like, they were like, hey, Ohio boy, let's play some cornhole. You know what I mean?
They called you boy and shit like
They
that.
called me
kinda
Ohio boy. I was
Ohio
like,
boy.
okay.
That's pretty. You should have asked him if that was with a Y or an I.
Yeah, I know, I didn't. And we played cornhole, and I lost, and they were like, yeah.
Man,
So I
losing
thought-
at cornhole is kind of like playing frog, I guess, on a bad day when you're not it. Losing at cornhole is like playing frog when you ain't it.
I was like, okay, sorry.
Oh,
Yeah,
man.
they beat me in cornhole, and that was that.
You have anything else today, man, or is this? Have we hit it today?
Are you depressed right now?
Am I
you
depressed?
sound disappointed.
Yeah.
Man, no, I'm not really depressed. You know, one thing that I really do want to get into.
We should go into one more thing before
All right.
we.
You know, one thing that I really have been wanting to get into
Okay.
is being outside more. Because since I moved out from the woods where I grew up in the middle of fucking nowhere,
Sure.
I've been living in an apartment, right? And it's a little fucking cracker box. I hate it. It's my own little fucking jail cell. I want to be outside more. And you know what I've been thinking? I want to get into fucking gardening and like growing shit.
Plants are cool.
You know what I mean? And I'm talking about sustainable living.
Let
Like
me
I want
know-
to I want to plant like spin out greens.
Let
And
me know when you're done with this because I have something to say about it. Let me know when you're done with this stuff.
you want me to let you know when I'm done with
Keep
it?
going.
All right, shut your mouth and I'll let you know.
Okay.
All right, I'm done with it. What do you have to say, Seth?
You finished?
For now.
You're all done.
I'm not all done. I'm never done. Are you
Okay.
ready to start though? Because
all
you're
done?
stalling.
You're all finished?
You're stalling.
Okay.
There you go.
That's the stupidest thing I've ever heard my entire life.
The stupidest thing you've ever heard in your entire life is that somebody
What
wants
you
to be
just said?
outside more. You want to
Yeah.
be outside.
You were like,
So you were like, what?
I want to grow flowers.
I didn't say that. I said I wanted to
No,
grow
you said
food.
I didn't say that, man.
You definitely said that.
I didn't say I want to grow flowers.
You said I want to
gave
grow
y'all 30
flowers.
years of my career. I gave y'all 30 years of my career. Y'all killing me with this shit. Y'all killing me.
So you said that. So
I'm fighting for my life. I'm fighting for my life.
you said you'd fight me over flowers, pretty much. And I don't know how I feel about you, man.
Well, I don't know why you tried to plug your fucking
You said
cover
you-
band Fight Over Flowers, but you
Dude,
know
that's a good band name, actually.
I know it's your band name, dude. You fucking Fight Over Flowers, little Austin. Plug your shit, dude.
What am I plugging?
Dude, your music. Tell our listeners where they can find your music, your podcast, your personal life. If you want people to know about your personal life,
Where
can they find you on social
where can they
media?
get
Don't waste your time adding
stuff?
me on Facebook. That's likely going away.
Okay.
No Timeouts Left is the name of the sports podcast I'm a co-host of. You can find that on Twitter at No Timeouts Left 1. You can listen to us on Podbean and SoundCloud. Just look us up. You'll find it. We'll soon be on Apple Podcasts and Anchor as well. Three-Way Dance is the name of the wrestling radio show / podcast that I'm working on. You can find us on Acme Radio Live. Is that the name of it? It's an app you can download. I have another wrestling podcast, but that has not started yet. I will let you guys know. And if you want to follow my annoying bullshit on Twitter, because I retweet the shit out of a bunch of wrestling stuff, it's at Coach Klein 90. That's KLEIN.
Mr. Coach Klein. And do us
Thank
one
you
more
for
thing.
explaining that reference. 'cause
Mr. Coach
a
Klein.
lot of people
He's
ask
spitting
me.
the cooler. So I want you to do one thing before we part ways here, Klein. Leave everybody with some words of wisdom and encouragement.
Who do you think you are? I am.
Who do you think you are? I am.
No, here we go.
Hell yeah.
You don't want nothing you don't know. You ain't drinking.
Okay.
Drunk am is not as you think you I'm.
Austin, fucking thank you, man.
Thank you for coming out here.
Appreciate it, guys.
Round of applause. And let's not forget, let's give a shout out to our sponsors for this episode, Blue Betty's Butt Plugs. Thanks for hooking us up with that Connect, Dale.
Yep.
Until next time, Dale, do what you do.
Thanks for listening, and we'll see you next time.
I don't know who tried calling me.
There's your mom.
Probably.
Yo, mammy.
428.
I would not call that back.
Why not?
That's a
Why not?
fucking spam call.
It's probably a rope.
Hello.
Oh, never mind.
Hello?
Hello, this is Shannon.
Hey, Shannon. This is Spencer. I just got a missed call from you a little bit ago.
Not from me.
Okay.
Thank you.
That was on the
It was a
fucking gas, dude.
robocall.
Yeah.